I got 4 new teams for this Doom Tower rotation. I've been waiting patiently to make this video for you. Can't wait to share it. What's up, guys? MtgJedi here. Today we're talking Raid Shadow Legends and the Doom Tower, okay? This is the Dark FAE rotation on the Doom Tower. We have Griffin, Scarab, Bommal, and Dark FAE herself. I'm going to talk about some strategies for all of these and show you my brand new endgame teams. Some of you are not going to like it, but I really want to share with those of you who have these champions, okay? I think there are tons of videos out there and we need more videos on speed runs and game content. Of course, we still need accessible teams as well. Even with Centranos on the horizon here, we still need some Doom Tower. You want your Doom Tower teams to be as quick as possible until Plarium puts in the autocomplete, or lets us do one run for all of our keys, or whatever the case might be. So let's jump in here and start with the Griffin, who I just beat this morning. My speed team includes 2 Leos, 2 Newts, and a Yumiko. Okay, that's what it is, all right? These are going to be endgame builds. And for a lot of you who have 2 Newts, this is going to be the strategy for you. If you don't have 2 Newts, I would highly recommend running the one that you have. And if you don't have one, then you're going to want somebody like Rhodos. You're going to want somebody like Geomancer. You're going to want, more traditional damage dealers like we've seen in the past. Now, this is globally one of the fastest teams so far. I'm not going to say that everybody is showing on here with their fastest times, but that was not my goal. It just happened to be. And when I took a look at it, I thought it was pretty fast. Now, on this, it is going to be weak affinity. And I think most people would not use their Newt in this location because of that fact. That would be wrong. So, this is going to be a couple turns slower than my fastest run, which was 18 turns. But there you go, 45 seconds. It was 18 turns. Okay, perfect. And if we take a look, both of the Leos are contributing, but obviously Newt's going to do the majority of the damage. If we take a look at the best teams and the global rankings, you can see that with my 18 turns, I am at number 25, okay? Which is pretty freaking sweet, okay? Pretty freaking sweet. Now, obviously, Yumiko, if you don't have her, that can just be somebody for survivability. It can be another damage dealer, whatever the case might be. Whatever you need to do to survive. That can be Syl of the Drakes if you really need it to be, right? And one of the things you'll notice about this team is that it does not put up buffs, okay? On this team, I will be using Newts, A2s on the waves whenever I need them, and not on wave. Wait, why did I do that? Interesting. I'm sure there was a reason, but I shut off Newt's A2 on wave 2. I would test that. I don't think that you actually need that. Leo is going to, the Leos. If you don't have the Leos, then obviously you're going to use the wave clearers that make sense for your roster, okay? Whoever your wave clearers are. I'm sure Ethos could do this. Or, lots of other champions, okay? Whatever your wave clearers are, Stultus or Magnar even, okay? I'm sure you could run 2 Magnars in here in place of the 2 Leos, and it would be perfectly fine. What you want to avoid on the Griffin are buffs. You don't want to come in here with a team like, Duchess and Ragash and Krisk, because the Griffin's going to strip all those buffs and scale up the damage very quickly. Enemy max HP champions are good on Griffin, so you could run a Husk in here. in place of one of these. Is it going to be as fast? No, definitely not, because Newt has the triple max HP hit. But it's still viable, it's still viable. And you're going to want a reviver in there if you have to slow it down, most likely. Last but not least, if you need to run buffs in the team, make sure you set it for not using it right away, okay? Like, here's my normal Doom Tower wave clearing team, okay? On round 3, you would go maybe on Duchess open A1, right? Instead of opening on her A2. That way, the Griffin can do his thing, and then he will have less buffs to strip. Regardless of the fact, you want to make sure that you're not bringing buffs to a fight where the Griffin strips the buffs. That's just a recipe for disaster, okay? Let's jump into team number 2. Make sure you're putting in the comments what you think and feel about these teams. And if you're mad at me for endgame teams, I mean, you can tell me that. I respect your feedback. Now, behind the scenes, I've been talking to a few people about using this champion that we're going to see on the Scarab team. And I am so excited to show you, okay? I'm so excited to show you. I feel like before we jump into that, I need to show you the stats on these champions. I think that this was on screen before, but I'll just tell you, like, this is my Leo for Arena, right? I didn't change the build for this. Now, the second Leo is in Relentless, and he's in my Clan Boss team, which I need to make a video on. So he has, lower crit rate. He doesn't have as much crit damage. Like, his attack stat is lower. He has enough accuracy for Clan Boss. So that's the difference in the builds. Newt number 1 and 2 are built very similar, just fast with damage. Neither of them are in Relentless because that causes problems in dungeons. And then Yumiko is just fast with accuracy. Just all of the best accuracy and fast perception gear on my account, okay? Now we can switch over to the Bommal team and do the same thing. I said Bommal, but I meant Scarab. And here is this brilliant, awesome team. I am so pumped about it. And it's actually really good, okay? Do you need these champions? By no way. No. Do you need a +4 Constantine? No. Do you need Constantine at all? No. Do you need Rio? No. None of the champions. You don't need any of them, okay? But it is a freaking cool team. And this is one of the best uses for Krutraxa that I've seen. It's one of the best. I love it. She's so good here. She's going to break the shield. Between her and Constantine, this shield is going away. Okay? Period. End of story. Very quickly. Now, what I like about this team, it clears the waves really quickly. Number 2, we have decreased defense and weaken on the boss to help. And number 3, we have damage dealers in destroy gear. Okay, so let me show you the stats, and then I'll show you the actual gear on these champions at the end of the video. So we have some pretty baller gear on Krutraxa for being destroy. I wish I could get her attack stat higher, honestly, but I couldn't. So instead, I put it on crit damage, which is pretty nutty. Okay, Rio, this is just the Rio build I use in all areas of the game. This could easily be Fane if you wanted it to. Anybody for decreased defense and weaken, really, but Rio does the best job because she cleanses as well. The boss will get a couple turns because we're not 100% focused on the turn meter like we would normally be with your cold hearts and your allures and all of that stuff. Now, everybody is in a blood shield ring or a blood shield accessory. That's how you need to do this unless you're bringing a shield champion, okay? Like Miscreated Monster or Metal Shaper, right? Those are some of the common champions for the other teams. I have a reasonable build on Constantine here in Destroy as well, but again, this is Destroy gear, so we're not going to have as crazy stats. Same Newt build as before, and Vlad here, just fast with some accuracy and some damage. He's nothing special, to be honest with you, and I could definitely upgrade his build. Now let's come in here and see what we're doing. On the boss round, we want to open with Vlad's A1, open with Newt's A1, and Constantine, Rio wants to do her thing, and then we really want to open with Krutrex's A1. I'm not sure why that. I must have changed that. That should definitely be the case. We want all of the A1s in there first because we want to save our abilities for when the shield is less thick. Okay? So maybe that'll cut down a little bit of time here. Oh, I need to turn the super raids off or I'm going to be in trouble. So this is going to be fairly quick. Not as quick as the sweet Griffin team. But I really couldn't get this faster. And maybe that's just me. Maybe I could have, figured out a way to do it faster. But so far, this is where I'm at. And the waves are just tanky. The waves are tanky. So I saved Vlad's decreased defense ability for wave 2. So we could try to get through that faster. And then on the boss, we're going to use those destroy gear. We're going to use those high damaging abilities after Rio puts up the decreased defense and weaken. Newt is going to help us control the turn meter. But as I said, we are going to have some turns taken here, okay? Oh, he stole Revive on Death. Is that a thing? I've never seen him steal it before. But you can see we're going to really just crack through the shield here fairly quickly. And Newt is going to be the main one controlling the turn meter. You can see Constantine there smacking that shield. We're going to see Krutrexa smacking the shield. And once that shield gets down a bit more, we're going to start taking huge chunks. Watch when Newt gets another A3 here. Watch, on his next turn, I think, he's going to get another A3, and it is just going to destroy. Look at this. Okay, the shield wasn't down quite as much, but normally, man, it is crushing the damage. Okay, so we're going to wrap up the fight here. This is actually a little bit slower than normal, but still, in my opinion, still pretty quick and super fun. So that is the team that I've been using on the Scarab King. The faster teams you guys have, let me know in the comments below or message me in Discord or both. I prefer both because then people can see those comments. I'm guessing there's a faster way to beat this, and this is just the one that I'm using right now, and it's super fun. I'm curious as to how that relates to the rest of my clan. I am number 4, so people are using Urost in there. Okay, that makes sense. Everybody except me is using Urost. Well, stand out. Don't fit in. Stand out, okay? All right, now we're getting into the meat and potatoes. Here's the teams that you want to see, right? There's no soloing, slow content here, okay? We're going to come in and we're going to wreck this boss. We're going to just wreck him, okay? I think I can put this in here now. I have 7 keys left. We got 2 Newts, Leo again, Yumiko again, and then the Helicath. All of the Helicaths belong to us. And what you're going to see here is a very similar strategy to the Griffin. The only difference is we need some way to survive, okay? We need some way to survive, so we're going to make sure that we have Helicath in here so we don't die, okay? And I think that that is a good strategy. We can use that. I'm surprised more people have not used block damage on Bommal. I'm actually surprised about that. So if we come in here, you can see Newt does really good damage on Bommal. He's just, there's half the damage right there, okay? Now we will get the buff stripped, but then we'll reset and we'll put it back up there. for the next rotation if we need it. Okay, we didn't even need it. Okay, perfect. Oh, that's actually my fastest run. Let's go right now. Love it. Love it. Okay, so that's how you do it. And then if there's some RNG there, then Helicath will put up the block damage again so you don't die. I like that strength, but it's possible that Helicath could just be a Cold Heart and we'll take out a little bit more max HP, or a bomb champion, of course. It's possible he could be someone else. Okay, so let's actually check in with the damage here and the times. Number 1 in the clan. And how does that stack up? Not good. Okay. I mean, 14 and I'm 17, so I'm outside of the top 30, but honestly, it's fine. Interesting. This guy has Baron and 3 Newts. What are the fastest teams doing? Yeah, Newts and Acrisia and Baron. Okay, so, you know, pretty similar to what I'm doing here. 6 turns. That's crazy. I mean, if I get another Newt, I'll definitely be doing that as well. All right, so that is the Bommal team. Now, if you don't have these champions for Bommal, what can you be doing? You can bomb Bommal, okay? That is a viable strategy now. With the memes, and I don't have Nishak, he's insanely good here, okay? But you can also use all of these champions to solo it. Boranguri plus Monkey King is really popular right now. You can do Lady Annabelle. I don't think the Canelia strategy works anymore, but there are a bunch of champions built to solo this boss, and I think that that's a very good strategy, especially for your first team. So, let's jump into Dark Fae, because that is a really cool new team as well. You're going to see some different champions there. Alright, now, obviously, if it's a speed run, we're still going to have the 2 Newts, but I have Razzlevarg in here, and I have shu-zhen. Now, I'm not actually sure that I need shu-zhen. I'm pretty sure that could be literally anyone else, like Allure or Cold Heart or whatever. But originally, when I was testing this, I needed shu-zhen to boost my damage dealer over the top. With Razzlevarg, I have him pretty fast. He's only at 254 though, so that is slower than the Newts and the Yumikos, so I do need a little bit of boost over the top. Actually, let's just look at all of the stats. Alright, so we have the Razzlevarg in here. He's 254. We have some crit stats on him. And then the shu-zhen, my fastest champion on the account at 402. Do you need to be that fast? Obviously not, okay? But that is what I do. If you don't have shu-zhen, then you need to make your damage dealer the fastest one in the team, or you need to have champions who are going to boost your speed. Like, it's very common to go Lady Kimmy into Deacon into your damage dealer. We just did that in a takeover the other day on stream. I'm sure you could go back and watch that. Before I forget to mention here, if you're having trouble with the Mortu waves, you can go watch the Mortu video. I left this in here to like plug that for anybody who made it this far into the video. You're still watching, you're struggling with Mortus. I should have mentioned it at the beginning of the video, honestly. But I didn't, so let's go in and see this run. Now, I don't think that this is the fastest run that's possible for Dark Fae. I don't think that. But I do think that this is the most consistent team that I've ever had. So I'm going to share that with you. And I was shocked that Razzlevarg was the champion that did it for me. Like, I tried other people there. Obviously, Leo will do it, but then you can't kill him. So that doesn't work. In case you were wondering, Leo does not work. But you could do, you know, Georgid or whatever damage dealer you want. Just for me, I found that Razzlevarg was just really the answer I was looking for. Now, the waves are kind of slow with this setup here, but this is also, you know, this is also a tanky set of waves. I don't think it's as easy to get through the waves on this setup as it is some of the other bosses. because these Coronars just have so much HP. So a lot of the time spent on this run is going to be just fighting the Coronars here. Okay? But we'll get through it. And then the most important thing is that you kill your team before they get turns, before they kill you. You don't want your team who's being copied to get any turns. And they won't when Razzlevarg just kills them, okay? Now we're going to come in here with the big hits. We're going to come in here with the turn meter resets. And I want to say the boss does not get another turn after this. But I think sometimes she does. No, okay, cool. So, we had 46 turns there, slightly slower on the waves than my best time, which is 43. Very similar, okay, very similar. So, these are the strategies that you can use on all of these bosses. And the cool thing about Dark Fae is, pretty much your Dark Fae team works every time. And if it doesn't, then all you need to do is increase your speed. Like, if you have a Dark Fae team for level 40, probably the only thing you need to do is make it faster for level 80, okay, and level 120. So let's jump in. Let's see some of the builds. Oh, you know what? Last thing. Okay, last thing. I built a sweet wave clearing team for just for some fun, okay? You can put like Lady Mikage, some stun champions. I was using Kutrexa for fun. I'm not going to run through that in the video, but if you don't have Seer, there's a lot of options now in the game for control. I just like Stultus and Ragash a lot. I have Uko in Provoke, and the block buffs is really helpful. If you're not using Seer, if you're using a team similar to this with like damage dealers and control, consider putting block buffs in your wave clearing team. It's very, very strong idea. Let's go ahead actually and take a look at the champion builds. I'm just going to put each of them on screen here briefly so you can see the gear. We already looked at the total stats. One of the things you're going to notice from my account is that there's a lot of gear ascension. Not every champion, like Yumiko, still no. Because, like her gloves, we don't need the ascension. It's flat attack. They just do what I need them to do. Speed and accuracy. But on a lot of champions, you will see it. Newt has 3 pieces here, right? Other Newt has... Do I have enough resources to, like, hit this? No. Okay, I need to farm some Phantom Shogun. Alright, it's about time to do that. Helikath. We got 2, 3 pieces. He's in Savage. We have Leo. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. And, you know, farming to ascend the gear is going to really help you. Okay, getting on to the champions for Scarab. You're going to see Constantine in the Destroy gear. You're going to see Kutrexa in some crazy Destroy gear. We have Rio in All Perception, highly recommend. Vlad, oh, no wonder it was a little bit slower. I stole Vlad's amulet. Okay, let's put another one on him. Yep, that seems fine. And you'll notice on these champions too, the Blood Shield accessories. Leo number 2 is the Clan Boss build in Fury. Oh, I forgot I put him in Fury instead of Relentless. And I think that's it. That's all of the champions. We end up using 12 champions for the 3 teams, which is pretty cool. Who are you using on your account for these rotations, for these bosses? Do you have faster teams than this? Are you mad that I'm using Newt and Yumiko in all of these teams? Obviously, let me know. I hope this was helpful to you. That's always the purpose of my channel, is to help you guys and to spread some fun and joy about this amazing game, Raid Shadow Legends. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. I'm off to basketball practice. I hope you have a wonderful day and enjoy your time in the game.